Once upon a time, deep in the heart of the Mbale rainforest, there lived a quiet and unassuming hunter named Anoru. He was known throughout the village for his unmatched skill in tracking game and for the peculiar mask he always wore. The mask was an intricate creation, carved from rare ebony wood, adorned with threads of gold and painted with symbols no one could decipher. When villagers asked why he never removed it, Anoru would smile gently and explain, "It protects me from the curses of the forest spirits." Anoru was beloved by all. He was generous with his catches, often sharing the best portions of meat with the elders, the widows, and the children. He told enchanting stories by the fireside, and his wisdom made him a trusted advisor to the village chiefs. No one questioned his mask or his motives. To them, Anoru was a blessing. But then, strange and troubling events began to plague the village. At first, it was small things, animals vanishing from their pens without a sound, birds flying away from the skies above, and the eerie silence that crept into the nights. Soon, the strangeness escalated. Entire fields of yams, once lush and vibrant, withered overnight as though some unseen hand had drained their life. The village's once crystal-clear river turned thick and black, its stench spreading for miles. Fish that swam in its waters died, and those who dared touch it fell ill. The villagers grew frightened and whispered of curses, witches, or angry spirits. Some thought they had offended the gods, while others suspected someone in the village of foul play. But each time fear threatened to consume them, Anoru would calm the people with his soothing voice. "These are tests from the spirits," he would say. "We must remain united, and we will endure." The people trusted him. They clung to his words, drawing comfort from his presence. Yet the strange events continued, and the unease grew like a shadow over the village. One evening, as the village prepared for a feast to appease the spirits, a stranger arrived. She was an old woman with silver hair that fell to her waist and piercing eyes that seemed to see into the soul. She leaned heavily on a staff carved with strange symbols and introduced herself as Okoli, a wanderer seeking shelter. The villagers welcomed her warmly, offering her food and a place to rest. That night, as the villagers gathered around the fire, Okoli sat quietly, her gaze fixed on Anoru. Her silence was unnerving, and finally, she spoke in a voice that carried both authority and warning. "Do you know," she began, "that every curse leaves a trail? A shadow of the one who cast it." The villagers fell silent, their eyes darting between Okoli and Anoru. The hunter, though calm, seemed to stiffen under her gaze. "I have walked this forest," Okoli continued. "I have seen the signs. And I have followed the trail of this curse. It ends here, in this village." She pointed her bony finger directly at Anoru. Tension rippled through the crowd. The villagers looked at Anoru, their trusted hunter, their protector, with confusion and suspicion. Anoru stood slowly, his voice steady but low. "Mother, you must be mistaken. I am but a hunter, serving my people. I protect them from harm." But Okoli did not waver. Her eyes blazed like embers as she said, "Let us see, then, if your mask hides only your face, or something more." The villagers, now gripped by fear and curiosity, demanded that Anoru remove his mask. Anoru hesitated, his hands trembling as he touched the edges of the mask. Reluctantly, he pulled it off. What the villagers saw made their blood run cold. As the mask fell to the ground, Anoru's body began to change. His skin darkened to a sickly green hue, and his face twisted into a grotesque shape. His eyes glowed with a fire-red light, and his mouth stretched wide, revealing rows of jagged, sharp teeth. He was no man at all, but Njike, a demon of the forest known to feed on the life force of villages. The villagers screamed and stumbled backward in terror, but Okoli stood her ground. The creature let out a deep, guttural laugh that echoed through the clearing. "You fools," it snarled. "For years, I have fed you with one hand and drained you with the other. Your trust was my feast. The villagers wept in despair, realizing how thoroughly they had been deceived. But Okwali was prepared. She reached into her robe and pulled out a pouch of fine white powder. Chanting words in an ancient tongue, she cast the powder into the air. The moment it touched the creature, it let out a piercing scream, thrashing wildly as the powder glowed like fire upon its skin. Within moments, the demon crumbled into ash, leaving behind only the mask it had once worn. The villagers were silent, still trembling from what they had witnessed. Okwali turned to them, her voice now gentle but firm. The Njek had taken the form of your hunter long ago. It fed on your trust, your generosity, and your strength. Be vigilant. Not all kindness is pure, and not every trusted face is true. The villagers built a shrine at the spot where the demon had fallen, placing the mask there as a warning to future generations. With the demon gone, the village's river cleared, the crops flourished, and the animals returned. Life was restored, but the memory of Anoru, or the creature that had pretended to be him, remained a chilling reminder. And so, the tale of the hidden demon spread far and wide, teaching all who heard it that the greatest dangers often were the kindest smiles.
Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to Arena of Tales channels for more videos.